What's up? It's Arthur with K-Fog Radio. I'm backstage here with Dexter from Houses. Dexter, what's going on, man?
Not much. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to see you today. You're going to be playing a little bit later this afternoon, but you had one of my favorite songs from all of the past year with Fast Talk.
Oh, thank you so much.
Super catchy tune. If you guys haven't checked it out, you got to listen to that. But you've been doing this for a long time now, like over 10 years. And was this the first time that one of your own projects that you were fronting started to get like some major radio play and stuff?
Yeah. This was definitely the first time. I mean, we had put out records before, and they got like some college radio stations had played them and stuff. But our songs used to be kind of long and a lot slower, and so we would always like get the feedback like, yeah, we can't really play this. And so Fast Talk, when it came out, no one was expecting like it to go anywhere at radio, and it was such a surprise, and it was like a lot of fun for me. I actually just heard it on the radio coming up here, and it was like it's the first time I'd heard it in my car driving.
No way.
Blew my mind. Yeah.
That's so cool. So do you remember the first time that you ever heard your music on the radio?
Yeah. Like probably when the first Houses album came out. I think on Sirius Radio, XMU was playing it, and I heard it once, and it just like it totally like I don't know, it shook me. I like couldn't believe what was happening because I was just doing everything for my bedroom at the time and putting it online, and it was this weird like thing where you're like, oh, it's real now. It's like I'm hearing it played back to me, not playing it for other people. It's a strange experience.
Yeah. Have you like wrapped your head around like how that's changed you and kind of your professional trajectory and the way that like taking a step out of your bedroom and moving into different studios and putting out your own albums and stuff like that? Like, has it really all set in with you?
Yeah. I mean, I've been like actively making music for the last 10 years, and I make a lot of music that I don't put out. And so it's like, I've gotten very comfortable with like what my process is, I guess, and how weird it can be sometimes. And like, so I can trust myself that like if I just keep at something, like eventually something's going to come that I'm proud of at least.
Yeah.
And it's really cool with Fast Talk because it's my favorite song that I ever wrote. It's like it feels like one of the most honest songs I've ever written. And then to have it like kind of come back and actually like have so many people relate to it and kind of like just get on board with it. I don't know. It was a really nice feeling because you feel like you can actually be yourself, you know.
Totally, yeah. And that's cool that your favorite song is the one that like started to catch on and everything like that, because it seems like a lot of times with talking to artists, like they like the songs and stuff, but some of their favorites are like some of the deeper cuts on the album. But that's cool that you were able to kill two birds with one stone with that.
Yeah, it's good. I just like it was one that I had sitting around for like a year or two that I just kind of kept coming back to and working on, and it just eventually kind of fell into a place where it felt like it wasn't. I was just always worried about it becoming like kind of like too flashy or too like egotistical or anything, and so I had to rewrite it a bunch of times, and I felt like I got it to a place where I'm proud of it.
Okay, cool. But now you produce music for a lot of other people. It's just not your own projects.
Yes.
You've worked with some people that other people may not necessarily expect you to work with, like Lil Yachty, Caliuchis.
Yeah.
What's it like producing for artists like that?
It's interesting. It's funny because like a lot of this stuff I have another project that I occasionally put out music with called Don Golden.
Okay.
And that's with Diplo's record label Mad Decent. And so he kind of like brought me into a lot of the more like kind of pop songwriting stuff.
Okay.
Like when I moved to LA like 6 years ago or something like that. And we made a bunch of music, and then I kind of like developed a sort of like group of friends that I was making music with for a while in for other people and like, pitching songs and stuff. And I got kind of burnt out on it. Like, I've never met Lil Yachty.
Okay.
And the one time I hung out with Kelly, it was like 10 minutes and we did not get along, I don't think.
Really?
And she probably doesn't even know that I wrote part of that song. So it's like it's an interesting world because you can kind of like really, really be in the background of things to where you're like writing songs for artists who have no clue who you are.
Right.
There's no connection.
That's so crazy.
And then there's stuff, there's other stuff I've done like with like I did a song with Martin Garrix, and that was very, like we worked together and stuff like that, and he was like FaceTiming me and stuff, and that was
cool.
like super cool. And so it can definitely be like a fun thing. But
yeah, so there's like the whole gamut of never actually meeting the person, meeting the person, not getting along, and then clicking with somebody and making magic together. That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I think that when I'm a big fan of Caliuchis, but when I like look at her Instagram and stuff like that, I'm like, Oh, she's probably a super diva and probably very difficult
I don't
to
know.
work with.
It was like when I met her. It was like, to be fair, I was like, it was like 1:00 in the morning, and Diplo had called me to his studio, and she didn't know who I was, and then he came in and was like, write a song for Rihanna, and we were both just like, what? And I was like, what kind of music do you make? And she said old school music, and I
What does
hadn't.
that mean?
It was before she had a record out, so I didn't even really know what she sounded like.
Right,
So,
right.
and so it was
Wow.
just like, it was such a bad situation to begin with. But
That's crazy though that it works like that, to where a figure like Diplo is just like, write a song for Rihanna, just like it's super casual. That's crazy. Did you
Yeah.
guys end up making that song for Rihanna?
no, that we literally hung out for like 10 minutes. She seemed like she was about to fall asleep, and I kind of was just like, I'm gonna go home.
Oh, okay.
And so I went home, and then we made that we made Melting together. Although I
Okay.
bet she doesn't know about it like 4 years later.
Wow, it's so mind blowing the way that works. Sometimes you never know who's actually involved in your album that she
Yeah.
put out, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
But now that you're here and performing at Bottle Rock, and is this your first time at Bottle Rock?
Yes, this is my
Okay.
first time at Bottle Rock. This is also House's first festival as well.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
that's a big step. Are you guys
Cool.
playing any other festivals coming up this summer?
Yeah, we're doing like Lollapalooza. We're doing ACL, and some other weird,
Okay.
some stuff in Buffalo. Like
Well, the
regional
major
festivals.
ones though, with Lollapalooza, Bottle Rock, ACL, like that's you're not going to want to talk to me next year when you
Oh,
come
no,
back
man.
here.
Come on.
You're going to be Hollywood by that
Come on.
time. But so when you're here at Bottle Rock so far, what are some of the cool things that you've checked out? Any good food that you've had, or any good wine or sets that you've seen?
I have answers for this.
Okay.
So I had a little bit of my manager's paella in the artist village. So it was
It's
unbelievable.
So good. Was it the chicken and shrimp one?
Yes.
Yes,
Or it was like there were some
it's
clams in it too.
so
But it was, yeah,
good.
it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't eat that much before I play because I just I get worried about like,
Okay.
burping on stage or whatever.
Oh,
Like-
has that ever happened?
No, but it does take like some if you want to eat stuff in every city, and it's like by the time
Yeah.
you go on stage it's like 10 o'clock, so you want to like eat like something. You can't like eat
Right.
gyros before everyone goes on stage. Or you're not gonna have a
Right.
good show.
Yeah. Okay.
So I try to keep it pretty lean, but the paella was unbelievable. And then I saw the Alive, which I think
Oh,
are a
okay.
Napa local band.
Oh, cool.
They look like they're like 13 years old.
Oh, yeah. I
The
saw
kids playing the main stage.
Yeah, yeah.
They were unbelievable. They were like ripping like Queens of the Stone Age covers, and they covered Ace of Spades by Motorhead. They were my favorite thing that I've seen so far.
Dude, that is so awesome.
And I got big time by them in the in the line for the paella. I was like, "Oh my god, your stuff is so cool!" And they were just like, "Oh, what's up?"
That's so funny. Well, maybe you guys will be collaborating on a song, and you won't know who they are. They won't know who you are. You'll make a song together, and it's the magic of the internet and music, the way
It's
it
the
works.
music industry.
So, what can people who are fans of your music, what can they expect from you coming up in the next year here? Do you have new tracks coming out or anything?
I do have some new music that's going to be coming out. I'm slowly like kind of working on a record, but I just it's 2019, and it's important to not sit on stuff for too long before you start
Right.
hating it. I just kind of want to start getting music out a lot more frequently, and so I think like while we're like kind of filling out a whole full length, we're going to be putting out some music and playing some shows, and hopefully like a bunch of other stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
And any other collaborations on your own production side? Any people that you're going to be working with coming up?
No, I was like I'm having so much fun doing houses stuff that I'm not really working for other like people. Like
Good.
it feels fun. I feel like I can write myself better songs now than I can write other people for the time being.
Totally. Yeah, that
That'll
makes
probably change,
sense.
though.
Yeah, something that's more personal to you that you can relate to instead of trying to write through somebody else's lens.
Yeah, and I've been doing my own thing for like the last couple of years, and it feels like I'm gonna get bored of myself eventually, and then I'll start writing for other people.
Yeah. Well, don't get bored of Houses. There's nothing to be bored of here. His music is incredible. Check out Fast Talk. If he's in your town, make sure you check him out. Houses,
you.
thank you so much. Dexter.
Thank you so much.
Can't call you Houses. Dexter.
Thank you. It's great to meet you.